A very good noon and Jai Hind, dear students. Welcome back to the second part of our chapter on the face of it. So in our my last video, I have covered till here, till this tall flowers. So today I am starting from here. From the Derry's conversation. As I told you that it is a play in which Derry are character. There are three characters: Derry, Mr. Lamb, and Derry's mother. Derry's mother is not having a very prominent role in this play. Derry and Lamb, they are the two main characters basically around which the whole play revolves. So yesterday we have already seen that Derry, he is having a burnt face and he is very much annoyed with the world outside, with the society outside, and he actually he's so much frustrated and annoyed that he doesn't want to be with the society anymore. He is full of annoyance, he is full of anger, and Mr. Lamb on the other side, he is having a tin leg. He is also physically disabled, but he look at the positive things, at the positive side of the life, you can say. Okay, so today we are starting from here, so let us start. Okay, so Derry is saying, things, Mr. Lamb, it's all relative. Beauty and the Beast. Derry, what's that supposed to mean? Mr. Lamb, you tell me. Derry, you needn't think they haven't all told me that fairy stories before. It's not what you look like, it's what you are inside. Handsome is as handsome does. Handsome is as handsome does. Beauty loved the monstrous beast for himself, and when she kissed him, he changed into a handsome prince. Only he wouldn't. He would have stayed a monstrous beast. I won't change. Mr. Lamb, in that way? No, you won't. Derry, and no one will kiss me, ever. Only my mother. And she kisses me on the other side of my face. And I don't like my mother to kiss me. She does it because she has to. Why should I like that? I don't care if nobody ever kisses me. Mr. Lamb, but do you care if you never kiss them? Derry, what? Mr. Lamb, girls, pretty girls, long hair and large eyes. People you love? Derry, who would let me? Not one. Mr. Lamb, who can tell? So finally they are having a conversation in the garden, as I told yesterday. Monstrous means horrible here. Okay, so now what's happening in this conversation? Derry commented that the other things mentioned by Mr. Lamb were things. You remember in my last video yesterday what happened? They were discussing about the beautiful things. Derry said, Mr. Lamb asked Derry to look at the beautiful things nature has provided us, like flowers, trees, sun, moon, and all that. And now Derry is commenting on that all those things were non-living, to which Mr. Lamb replied that all the things were related to each other, just like beauty is related to the beast. That is, a beautiful creation is related to ugliness. Derry was confused. Mr. Lamb asked for Derry's opinion. After thinking for a while, Derry replied that often he had heard people saying that beauty is not related to one's appearance. Derry, he knows, he has heard people talking about this, that beauty is not the physical appearance. Okay, in fact, rather inner beauty is our real beauty. He knew this thing, he has heard people listening this thing, but still he is not ready to believe on this. Okay, even a handsome man is the one who does something good rather than one who looks good. So he is saying that just by appearance you cannot consider somebody handsome. A man becomes handsome by his good deeds. He said that once a beautiful girl loved a beast for who he was and kissed him, which turned the beast into a handsome prince. I hope you all would have read the story, Beauty and the Beast. Yeah, they are having a discussion from that story itself. So, but then he said that he won't change. He said that Prince has changed just because that beautiful girl kissed him, but he's not going to change. And Mr. Lamb said that Derry was right at that. Derry said that no one would kiss him ever because of his face. So he said that my face is so ugly that nobody will ever kiss on my face. Even he said that my mother kissed me because and she also kissed me on the good side of my face. He did not like this at all. He said, I don't like my mother kissing me on the good side of my face. Even she did not kiss me on that side which is burnt. He said that he didn't care even if nobody kissed him. And after that, he was very much annoyed and he said, I don't care if anybody kissed me or no, do not kiss me. Mr. Lamb asked him that, did Derry ever want to kiss someone? So now he's changing a little bit of topic here. He's saying that, do you want to kiss somebody? Derry asked him what he was talking about. To this, Mr. Lamb replied that probably Derry wanted to kiss pretty girls who had long hair and large eyes, or other people whom Derry loved. So Derry replied that no one would ever allow him to do so. He said, what if I wanted to kiss somebody? Do you think that that person will allow me to kiss on his or her face? They will not allow me, because once they will see my ugly face, they will not be ready. Mr. Lamb said that this was unpredictable. You never know. Maybe they will allow you. How can you be so sure? Now let's move forward. Okay, so Derry is saying, what Derry is saying, I won't ever look, I'm here dear students for your reference, let me tell you, I'm here. I won't ever look different. When I'm as old as you, I'll look the same. I'll still only have half a face. So that means I'm having half a face means my face is burnt. Half face is burnt, so I'm only with half face with me. Mr. Lamb, so you will. But the world won't. The world's got a whole face. And the world's there to be looked at you. See, these lines are very important. Derry said that I am having only half face. He said I have only half face from which I can look, I can deal, I can see. But Mr. Lamb is saying that yeah, you are right, you are having half face. But the world is having a whole face. They can see you from both of their eyes. They can see you from both the aspects. Okay, Derry, do you think this is the world? This old garden? Mr. Lamb, when I am here, not the only one, but the world as much as anywhere. Derry, does your leg hurt you? Mr. Lamb, tin doesn't hurt, boy. Derry, when it came off, did it? Mr. Lamb, certainly. Derry, and now? I mean, where the tin stops at the top? Mr. Lamb, now and then. In wet weather, it doesn't signify. Derry, oh, that's something else they all say. Look at all those people who are in pain and brave and never cry and never complain and don't feel sorry for themselves. Mr. Lamb, I haven't said that. Derry, and think of all those people worse off than you. Think you might have been blinded or born deaf or have to live in a wheelchair or be daft in your head and dribble. Mr. Lamb, and that's all true, and you know it. Okay, sorry. So here we are. Till here we have done till the first line. Let me tell you the word meanings first. Signify, dear student, means a sign of, be a sign of. Daft, you can see in the last line, daft in your head and dribble. Daft means silly and foolish, and dribble means to fall slowly. So see, by this conversation I can make out like Derry, he knows so many things. He is not totally negative. In fact, through this conversation we can make it out. I will tell you how. See, Derry said that he will never look different. When he will be as old as Mr. Lamb, no? Then also he will have only half a face. So he said that my half face is always there with me. It's for it's like kind of a permanent thing for me. It's not going to change whether I will grow old, whether I'm a teenager, or whether I'm an adult. It's going to be same. It's going to be just like this only. I always carry a half face. Mr. Lamb said that yes, he will always have half a face, but the world was full of so many things to look at. So he must look at its beauty. Derry questioned him. That was the garden, the whole world for him. He said, is it your world, this garden? Are you talking about this garden as a world? Lamb said that when he was present in the garden, then the garden was his world. He then questioned him whether his leg hurt. Derry questioned Mr. Lamb that whether his leg hurt. Lamb replied that didn't hurt. It never pained, my boy. Derry asked him if he suffered pain when he lost his leg. Lamb said that it pained back then. Yes, at that time it pained a lot. He then asked him if it pained now, where the artificial leg stuck into the real one, where there is a merge ना, जहाँ से उसके पैर में वो artificial leg they have inserted. तो he said वहाँ पे दर्द होता है क्या आपको? So to that he replied that sometimes it pained in wet weather, when it's rainy season or it is kind of a cold weather, then at that sometimes it pain, but it was not that important. That pain is not important. Derry said that he could understand what he meant by all this, as he had heard people saying that you should take a lesson from those who suffer in pain and never cry or complain about their problems. Mr. Lamb said that he didn't say so. Derry continued that people told him to look at those people who were in worse conditions than him. It happens, no, when sometimes something big, went wrong with all of us. So people, they come to console us, and they do tell us ki beta you should look something positive in whatever has happened. Look at the people below than you. Look at the it might get worse also, so you are the lucky one. So he said that yes, I have seen people, and people told him to look at those people who were in worse conditions than him. They told him that he might have become blind. वो लोग आके उसको कंसोल करते हैं, वो ये भी कहते हैं कि वो तो अंधा भी हो सकता था, डेफ भी हो सकता था, हैंडीकैप्ड भी हो सकता था, लेकिन ऐसा चलो ये तो अच्छा है कि इतना कुछ नहीं हुआ, बस उसका फेस ही हाफ बर्न हुआ है. ओके, सो दे टोल्ड हिम दैट ही माइट हैव बिकम ब्लाइंड, be born deaf or be handicapped and have to remain in a wheelchair throughout his life. He may even have been born with mental disorder. Mr. Lamb said that yes, it was true, and that Derry knew so much, that yes, you already knew so much. People, they have told you, and you are already aware that yes, things may be more worse than the things at present. Okay, so means you can see here that Derry knew the things, but he is not ready to accept them. And whereas Mr. Lamb, he is trying to tell him, yes, you should look at the positive side of the life. Now, let us move forward. Okay, so here we are. I'm here, okay. I'm here, starting from here. Yes. So, it won't make my face change. Do you know, one day a woman went by me in the street. I was at a bus stop and she was with another woman, and she looked at me and she said, whispered, only I heard her. She said, look at that. That's a terrible thing. That's a face only a mother could love. Mr. Lamb, so you believe everything you hear then? See, Derry is telling about two ladies. They were talking. One day he was at a bus stop. There he heard two ladies doing a conversation, and they were talking about Derry's face, that's a terrible thing and only a mother can love that face. Okay, now Mr. Lamb is asking him, do you believe everything you hear? जो भी तुम सुनते हो, क्या तुम उस सब चीज़ों पे विश्वास कर लेते हो ऐसे ही? Now Derry is saying, it was cruel. Mr. Lamb, Maybe not meant as such, just something said between them. So again Mr. Lamb is consoling him. He's saying that maybe they might be discussing something else in between which you did not hear, and you missed that portion. Maybe they were talking something good about it, but he said, only I heard it. I heard. And is that the only thing you ever heard anyone say in your life? So Mr. Lamb said that that's the only one thing you heard in your life. You have never heard anything positive in your life because you are focusing on the negative thing which those two ladies were talking about you. Oh no, I have heard a lot of things. So now you keep your ears shut. Derry, you are peculiar. You say peculiar things. You ask questions I don't understand. Mr. Lamb, I like to talk, have company. You don't have to answer questions. You don't have to stop here at all. The gate's open. Derry, yes, but Mr. Lamb, I have a hive of bees behind those trees over there. Some hear bees and they say bees buzz. But when you listen to bees for a long while, they hum. And hum means sing. I hear them singing, my bees. Derry, but I like it here. I came in because I like it. When I looked over the wall, Mr. Lamb, if you would have seen me, you had not have come in. Derry, no, Mr. Lamb, no. So, again the word meaning. First, whispered means to say something very slow so that the next person should not hear it. And then peculiar means strange, that is very unusual. And hive, chatta, dome-shaped structure in which bees live, that is known as hive. Okay, so explanation part is here. Where am I? Yes. Derry said that all this would not change his face. He said, whatever you might be going to teach me, telling me, it's okay, but it's not going to change my face at all. One day, as he was waiting at a bus stop, a woman passed by him. He heard her telling another woman that he had such a terrible face that only his mother could love him and no one else could. Mr. Lamb asked him, did he believe what he heard? Derry stressed that he heard it. Mr. Lamb asked that was this the only thing he had heard from someone? Derry said that no, he had heard many other things too. Lamb suggested him to shut his ears. That is, he should ignore all this. Here, to shut his ear means अपने कान बंद कर लो, अपना शटर डाउन कर लो. It's not like that. To shut your ear means here that he should ignore all these things. Whenever he hears something negative about him, he should ignore those things and he should focus on the positive things. Derry found Lamb's words strange and added that he couldn't understand his questions. He found Lamb a very different kind of a man who is so calm, so composed, and always talking about the positive. Mr. Lamb said that he liked to talk and also liked the company of others. He also told him that there was no need to answer him. He said, you are not supposed to answer all my questions. If you don't like my company, you can quit. And as the gates were open, he could leave if he wanted to. Derry did not leave and he seemed unsure of it. Means he doesn't actually, this line shows when he did not leave the garden, this line shows that he started liking Mr. Lamb somewhere. Okay, that's the reason he did not leave. Mr. Lamb said that there was a beehive in one of the trees. People considered the buzzing sound of the bees to be a noise, but for him, it was a song sung by the bees. Derry explained that he had liked the place from outside, and so he entered the garden. Mr. Lamb questioned that would he have entered had he seen Mr. Lamb To which Derry replied in the negative, that no, I have not seen you. Now let us see further conversation. Here I am. Derry, it would have been trespassing. Mr. Lamb, that's not why. Derry, I don't like being near people when they stare when I see them being afraid of me. Mr. Lamb, you could lock yourself up in a room and never leave it. There was a man who did that. He was afraid. You see, of everything in this world, a bus might run him over, or a man might breathe deadly germs onto him, or a donkey might kick him to death, or lightning might strike him down, or he might love a girl and the girl would leave him, and he might slip on a banana skin and fall, and people who saw him would laugh their heads off. So he went into this room and locked the door and got into his bed and stayed there. Now see, it's a story which Lamb is telling Derry, and why he is telling this, that I will tell you later. He is telling this just because he wanted him to, he said, no, I want to leave and I would not have come. So he said, you should lock yourself inside a room, Mr. Lamb. And then he started telling him a story. Now let's have this first and then I will explain it further. Derry, forever? Mr. Lamb, for a while. Derry, then what? He got curious. He started taking interest in that story, and then he asked, then what? Mr. Lamb, a picture fell off the wall onto his head and killed him. And Derry laughs a lot on this, that he protected himself, that man protected himself like anything from everything outside, and finally he was killed by a picture which fell on his head. Okay, Mr. Lamb, you see? Derry, but you still say peculiar things. He said, it's okay, but still I will say that you speak strange things. Mr. Lamb, peculiar to some. Okay, so trespassing means enter without permission, and strike means to hit. So Derry said that if he would have entered his garden, no, even after knowing that he was there, it would have been without his permission. Mr. Lamb said that was not the real reason. Derry said that he did not like going near people as they got afraid of him and stared at him. Mr. Lamb suggested that he could lock himself in a room forever. He said you should go and lock yourself in a room forever. He then narrated a story about the man who locked himself in his room as he was afraid of everything. The man thought that he would meet with an accident with the bus, he would catch infection from someone, a donkey would kick him to death, the lightning may hit him, or he may die because the girl whom he loved may leave him, or he may even slip off a banana and people would laugh at him. In order to safeguard himself from all such incidents, he locked himself in his room. Okay, so he did everything to protect himself. And finally, what happened? See, Derry surprisingly asked Mr. Lamb if he locked himself forever. हमेशा के लिए उसने अपने आप को बंद कर दिया. He replied that no, he did so for a while. Derry asked, what happened next? Mr. Lamb replied that a pitcher fell on his head and he died. This made him laugh a lot. Whom? Derry. And he said that Mr. Lamb narrated strange talks. Mr. Lamb said that they were strange for some people. Okay? They were strange for some people, but for some other people, it's quite interesting. Right? So now let's see. Derry, what do you do all day? Mr. Lamb, sit in the sun, read books. You thought it was an empty house, but inside it's full. Books and other things full. Derry, but But there aren't any curtains at the windows. Mr. Lamb: I'm not fond of curtains. Shutting things out, shutting things in. I like the light and the darkness, and the windows open to hear the wind. Derry: Yes, I like that. When it's raining, I like to hear it on the roof. So now he started taking interest in Mr. Lamb, and he started sharing some things, a few of his things with him. You can see in this line. When he says that yes, here he's saying, talking, yes, I like it's raining and all that. So it means he has started sharing his things with Mr. Lamb. Okay, fine. Mr. Lamb: So you are not lost, are you? Not altogether. You do hear things, you listen. Derry: They talk about me downstairs when I am not there. What will he ever do? What's going to happen to him when we have gone? However will he get on in this world? Looking like that, with that on his face. That's what they say. They means here his parents. He's talking about his family here with Mr. Lamb. Okay, fine. Now see, Mr. Lamb: Lord, boy, you have got 2 arms, 2 legs, and eyes and ears. You have got a tongue and a brain. You will get on the way you want, like all the rest. And if you chose and set your mind to it, you could get on better than all the rest. Derry: How? Mr. Lamb: Same way as I do. So now see, Derry asked what Mr. Lamb did all day. Now he started taking interest in Mr. Lamb. He found him interesting. He started liking him, in fact, and he asked what is his daily routine. Mr. Lamb replied that he sat in the sun, he read books. Further, he said that the house was full of books. He said, no, my house is not empty. You think that I'm all alone? No, there are so many things I'm with my books and so many other things to do. Derry looked at the house and said that there weren't any curtains on the windows. Why you have not put some curtains on the windows? Mr. Lamb replied that he did not like curtains. He said, I like transparency. I like transparent people. I don't like manipulative people. He said, I like transparency. I like light, darkness, and wind too. Derry added that he also liked all of them, and he also liked the sound of the rain falling on the roof of his house. So there is a similarity, okay? Mr. Lamb commented that Derry was present-minded as he could hear. Derry said that his family worried about him, that what would he do in the future with a burned face. So when he said, I heard them talking, I heard they were talking about me. So they means his parents, his family. Mr. Lamb said that Derry had everything. 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 eyes, 2 ears. He wanted to make Derry realize that he had so much which many other people were deprived of. He added that Derry could accomplish means complete, to fulfill. He said that Derry could accomplish a lot. He can achieve a lot if he determined to do so. What he requires a strong determination to achieve all those things. That's it. Derry asked, how was it possible? And Mr. Lamb replied that the same was as he did. Now see, do you have any friends? Derry is asking Mr. Lamb, and Mr. Lamb is replying, hundreds. Derry, but you live by yourself in that house. It's a big house too. Mr. Lamb, friends everywhere. People come in, everybody knows me. The gates always open. They come and sit here and in front of the fire in winter. Kids come for the apples and pears and for toffee. I make toffee with honey. Anybody comes. So have you. कोई भी आ जाता है और इसलिए तुम भी आए हो आज. But I'm not a friend. Mr. Lamb, certainly you are. so far as I am concerned. What have you done to make me think you are not? He said, of course you are my friend. I think so. You don't know me. Now Derry is saying, you don't know me. You don't know where I come from or even what my name is. Mr. Lamb, why should that signify? Do I have to write all your particulars down and put them in a filing box before you can be a friend? Derry, I suppose not. No. He said that you do not know me and you even don't know my name, and so to that Mr. Lambert is replying that do I have to register, do I have to write your name and everything in that register before making you my friend? I don't think that these all things are important. You could tell me your name if you chose and not if you didn't. He said if you want to tell me your name you can tell, otherwise there is no compulsion. Derry is replying, Derry, only it's Derek, but I hate that. Derry, if I'm your friend, you don't have to be mine. I choose that. See how positive is that? Mr. Lamb, certainly. Derry, I might never come here again. You might never see me again, and then I couldn't still be a friend. Mr. Lamb, why not? How could I? You pass people in the street and you might even speak to them, but you never see them again. It doesn't mean they are friends. See, now what's happening here? Derry asked if Mr. Lamb had any friends, and he replied that he had a few hundred of them. Actually, it's not true. That we are going to get to know later on in the chapter. Derry further said that still he lived alone in such a big house. He's having 100 friends and still he's living alone in this big house. Mr. Lamb said that everyone was his friend. Many people visited the garden. The gate remained open. They sat there by the fire in winter season. In fact, kids came to pick apples and pears and to take the honey toffees made by him. Derry said that he wasn't a friend of Mr. Lamb's. He said that Derry was a friend because he had not done any such thing that should seize their friendship. Derry said that they did not know each other well to become friends. Mr. Lamb did not consider that to be important. He said it's not important. What is your name? To which caste you belong to? Where do you live? I don't think that these points are important to make somebody as a friend. He did not need Derry's particulars before becoming friends with him. Mr. Lamb said that if he wished, he could tell him his name. Derry replied that his name was Derek, but he disliked it and wanted to be called Derry instead. He added that he might not visit the place in future and then they would not remain friends anymore. He said that I will not come again to your garden and I think you will forget me and we will not be friends anymore. Mr. Lamb asked the reason and Derry replied that one crosses many people while walking down the street, might speak to a few of them and never see them again. This did not mean that they had become friends. So Derry said that when we walk on the road, we meet so many people and to a few of them we talk also, we might speak also to a few of them. But we never see those people again in our life. So many people we meet, when we walk on the road. So this did not mean that they had become friends. Just we talk to them and then we move ahead. So it doesn't shows that they have become our friends. Okay. So I think it's enough till here today, dear students, and remaining part we are going to do. I have done till here, and remaining part we are going to cover in my next video. So tomorrow I'll be sending the last part of it. Do read this play as I told you. It's and you have to read it line by line. If there is any problem, you can ask me anytime, dear students. I can observe that you are not watching the videos because I can see the number of views over there. So please watch it. It's really important from the point of view of your exam. 12th, please pay attention and be serious. I'll see you in my next video. Till then, take care and have a great day ahead. Bye bye.